Hello lovely, in this video we're gonna give you model answers and vocabulary about not food, no, about Beyonce. Celebrities. Rory is so excited to talk about celebrities. He's just, he's a celebrity himself.
Yeah, I'm always thrilled to talk about people who are famous for being famous. I am not a celebrity.
Let's talk about celebrities.
Let's talk about celebrities.
Who is your favorite celebrity in your country?
I've never really thought about it, to be honest with you, since I don't particularly follow them. If I'm pushed on it, maybe James McAvoy, but I don't even know if he lives in my country anymore. He played Professor X in the latter X-Men movies.
Dear listener, this is your time to tell a story how I met Beyonce, or how I met Leonardo DiCaprio, or Messi. You can just lie, dear listener, and the examiner is going to be like, whoa, you really met Beyonce? Whoa. Yeah, Rory didn't say anything like this. Well, okay.
I said what their jobs were. I'm not going to go around name dropping. That's not how things work.
Fine. Boring.
Name dropping, by the way, is when you mention the names of famous people in conversation in order to garner attention.
You should know who is famous in your country. For example, Rory here mentioned James McAvoy, and he's a Scottish actor. Okay, he starred in X-Men and also this movie Split. It's kind of thing, Split.
But I don't know if James McAvoy is actually a celebrity in my country anymore. He's a celebrity from my country, but I think he actually lives in...
But he's famous in your country, so it's okay. So you should kind of give some names, okay? So who is famous? Maybe like a writer, Beyonce, Paul McCartney, I don't know. Messi is famous everywhere. And a good way to start it, you can say, oh, I've never really thought about this. Who is famous in my country?
Well, it's not something I spend a great deal of time thinking about. And you could tell that to the examiner and they would probably understand, because not everybody is interested in celebrities and following them. Speaking of which, if you follow the celebrities, it doesn't mean you're physically like they are walking and you are walking behind them. It just means that you follow the news about them and their lives.
Yeah, you follow them on social media, you just follow their lives. Yeah, but you are not a stalker. Okay, you don't stalk them. Stalk is bad. Stalking is bad, okay, for you and for the celebrity. So it's too much of following, stalk. Do you want to be a celebrity?
Oh, I think I'd sooner die, to be honest with you. Fame and fortune don't really seem to bring people much in the way of happiness or good living. Very few celebrities seem to be well-grounded people or have a good relationship with reality. So I think I would rather be reasonably well-known for doing the right things rather than just famous for anything and have all of this money and power that doesn't actually improve my life in any way.
Do you want to be a celebrity or do you want to be famous? And Rory told us, I'd sooner die. So I would sooner die. So I don't want to do this, okay? I die. Okay, death is better than being a celebrity for Rory.
You could say this to anything. If someone said, would you like to do blah, blah, blah? And if you really don't want to do it, then you just say, I think I'd sooner die.
Yeah, for example, Rory, would you like to be a singer?
I think I'd sooner die because that would, and I would die if I did it because I would die of embarrassment. So there we go. It's good grammar though. For example, I think, present simple, I would, and sooner for the comparative, and then the whole thing, I think I'd sooner die for the pronunciation. So it's pretty good. It's a good phrase to use, even though it's a bit dark.
Yeah, and you can say, for example, do you want to be a writer? I'd sooner die. I'd rather be a singer. So I would rather be a singer. Again, I prefer to be a singer. So I'd rather be famous. Or I'd rather die. I'd rather be a teacher. I'd rather be a doctor. This is a nice one. And I'd rather be well known for the right reasons. So well known, famous, for the right reasons. What did you mean for the right reasons? So I'd rather be well known for the right reasons.
Well, well known is not the same as being famous. It's like in the celebrity way. Well known is just like people know who you are. And if it's for the right reasons, then it's for doing good things, helping people or having a good reputation, rather than being some, I don't know, notorious person who does all of these horrible things or behaves in a certain way. I don't really approve of that. So I don't just want to be a celebrity for the sake of being a celebrity. Like, being famous is the main focus. It's more about a large number of people know who you are, but they know you for doing one specific thing very well, or a few things that are really good.
Yeah, and usually we say like well-known musicians, writers, poets, well-known podcasters, such as Rory Duncan, something.
I'm so well known that Maria can't remember my name after almost 5 years of working together.
No, you have 5 names. You have five different names. Come on.
I have 4.
4. Okay, even Cambridge, you can't remember your names.
Even Cambridge University couldn't get the name right on my certificate. So I have 2 from Cambridge now. Thank you, Cambridge.
Very few famous people seemed to be attached to reality.
Yes, if you're attached to reality, it means that you have a realistic understanding of how the world works and the problems that affect most people and how their lives operate. Whereas if you're not attached to reality, then you might think that you are the most important person in the universe and everybody should drop everything just to please you.
Fame and fortune is kind of like idiomatic, right?
What do you call it? A binomial, like fish and chips or M&Ms?
Yeah, fame and fortune. Like, he went to London to seek fame and fortune. Yeah, or like his dreams were of fame and fortune. I'm dreaming of fame and fortune, which means like you want to be famous and you want money. How else can I use fame and fortune?
Well, fame and fortune don't seem to make people particularly happy.
Do you read news about celebrities?
Outside of glancing at the occasional article and headline in the passing, no. I mean, I'd rather build up my life than, focus on the trivialities of someone else's.
I glance at occasional articles. So when you glance at something, you just like quickly. You look at something quickly, like you stare, or you just like glance quickly, right? And Rory doesn't follow any celebrities. He just like glances at the occasional article. So he just picks up a newspaper and he's like, okay. So he just glances at some articles about celebrities. You're like, I'm not into it, okay? And I can read some headlines. So headline is the title of an article. So you don't read the whole article. You just, I glance at some headlines about celebrities. And again, I'd rather focus on something else. Remember, like we used it, like I'd rather be well known for another thing, right? Or I'd rather be well known for something. Here we use it, I'd rather focus on building up my life instead of reading about somebody else's life.
Oh, not just somebody else's life. Come on, I used a really good word there. Even I remember it.
Oh, yes, you did. Like trivialities of someone else's life.
So trivialities are extremely small and unimportant details. So for example, if, I don't know, it's like if a celebrity gets a new pair of shoes and they're photographed with those and it tells you all about the shoes and how much they cost and the color, and I'm already falling asleep. It's boring. It's not interesting for me. So it's trivial. Other people have different opinions, but this is mine.
So a good sentence to use. I'd rather focus on building up my life instead of reading about the trivialities of someone else's. Have you ever met celebrities or pop stars?
I have indeed. I have met several comedians and journalists. And singers. So yes, and I managed to get completely starstruck each time. So it's not really something that you get used to, I'm afraid. I even have some autographed material from them, which make for interesting keepsakes. I'm not sure they're worth much, but it's interesting to have.
We can call them celebrities, famous people, pop stars. And if the examiner asks you, have you ever met a celebrity? Oh, come on, dear listener, just lie. Say that, once I met Paul McCartney in a store. you saw Beyonce after the concert. I don't know, dear listeners. So kind of like make up a story, like
I know. I went to a music festival called Mighty Hoopla, and I saw the person that plays Moriarty in Sherlock at a bar.
Oh, nice.
It was a very weird festival because on one side of the bar you had this person, and then on the other, I'm told, I don't know this for a fact, but there was an adult film star as well on the other side of the bar, and someone pointed him out to me, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's an interesting mixture of people at this music festival.
So it's like once I went to a concert and I met Beyonce, hey, and I was completely starstruck. Okay, so to be completely starstruck, like, whoa, Beyonce, are you real? Like, yeah, what happens to a person if they are completely starstruck?
They just lose the ability to operate effectively in real life. Although I'm getting, or at least I think I'm getting better at it. I haven't met many celebrities in my life, but I feel like I'm getting progressively more able to handle how I interact with them when I do.
Yeah, but Beyonce saw me and she asked me, like, oh, how are you, darling? This is how Beyonce talks. Oh my God. No, I'm lying. But again, dear listener, this is your chance to be interesting for the examiner in the first speaking parts. And then the examiner will like, whoa, wow, this person met Beyonce. Huh? It's kind of like be different, like lie. Okay?
Am I allowed to talk about the celebrities I've met now?
Yeah, but who did you meet? We don't know. Like, we don't know these comedians. But Beyonce, everybody knows Beyonce. Messi, everyone knows Messi, okay? But kind of like comedians, journalists, okay, a person who played Moriarty in Sherlock Holmes, yes, okay, like he's quite famous.
Okay, but I also, that I met Vladimir Posner, who is very famous in Russia. So that is one very famous person who asked me for tips about pronunciation. So that was cool. And I asked him what he did for a living. I didn't know who I was talking to. This man has interviewed like Hillary Clinton and Vladimir Putin, and I didn't know. And it's just like, oh, what do you do? And he was like, oh, I work in journalism. And he was probably thinking, wow, this person has no idea who I am. However, Vladimir Posner is not the only person I have met. I have also met a comedian from the UK called Julian Clary, and I was actually on stage with him in one of his shows. And when I was younger, about 10 years ago, before I was a teacher, I met a singer called Nell Bryden, and she signed one of the CDs I had with me, which was pretty cool. And I talked to her briefly about her songs as well. And when I was very, very young, I don't know how easy this will be to see, but I met a woman called Lorraine Kelly, who is a famous Scottish journalist and TV news presenter. And I met her when I was very little, and that was quite cool as well.
Wow, sweet. What do you say about signing things? So I met Beyonce and she signed my t-shirt.
She autographed in this case, I have Nell Bryden's autograph on my CD here. For those of you who don't know what a CD is, because you grew up after the 90s, CD is a disc that people used to play music on. Now you just download everything from the internet.
Yeah, so I got her autograph, or she autographed my t-shirt, my a CD, or I got her autograph. Okay? And Rory told us, I have a few autographed material, so some things with autographs on them. Okay? Yeah, and who are keepsakes?
Yes, so a keepsake is an item kept to help you remember someone who was involved with it. So, for example, the CD is a keepsake of when I met Nell Bryden, or a keepsake of Nell Bryden. Maria gave me this little bear paw spoon as a keepsake, and I have a keepsake from my grandmother, her wedding ring. There you go, different examples of keepsakes. Not from famous people. Although my grandmother met the photographer of the Beatles. His name was Harry Goodwin. And during World War II, she had this photographer staying in her home. And this guy used to call up my grandmother all the time and talk about the old days in World War II when he would be staying there, because he was a war photographer back then.
Do you believe that the news stories about famous people are true?
I guess that depends on what is being covered and the publications covering it when you think about it. I mean, for example, let's say it's someone's birthday in a reputable broadsheet, then I think the facts are pretty much beyond dispute there. Whereas if it's some kind of salacious gossip in some kind of tabloid, then I think nothing gets further from established truth than that. And I'm not going to invest much faith or interest in it.
When we talk about the news about celebrities, we can say that different publications cover news about pop stars. Okay, publications like newspapers, online papers they write about celebrities. So publications cover news about celebrities. Also, we have a reputable broadsheets. Broadsheets are newspapers, like paper newspapers. Reputable, they have a good reputation for writing the truth. And you can give an example. For example, if the news is in a reputable broadsheet, okay, the news could be true. The news is true, okay? But if it's some, what gossip? What did you say?
Oh, salacious gossip. It's inappropriate gossip, really. It's usually something, like I say, it's usually something inappropriate or sexual, which you really shouldn't be talking about in public. It's people's private business.
Yeah, salacious is disapproving. It's a negative word, and it causes a strong interest in sexual matters, okay? So, a salacious joke, for example, is, inappropriate. Well, you understand, dear listener. Do you? Yeah, so when they write something about Beyonce having many lovers, okay, or kind of they write some gossip about, I don't know who, Brad Pitt having an affair with a lot of women. So like some salacious gossip.
And I have no idea why anyone would be interested in that. Moving on.
And where do they publish such gossip?
In tabloids. And if you read tabloids, then good luck to you. I can't help you.
Or you can say sometimes I read some gossip about celebrities in tabloids, but I don't invest much faith in it. In gossip. I don't believe it, okay? Or many people believe it, but I don't invest any faith in it.
The opposite of a tabloid is a broadsheet, and a broadsheet is reputable. Which means that they are trustworthy and have a good reputation. A tabloid covers a smaller surface area, and a broadsheet is usually bigger or covers more serious matters.
Dear listener, please check out our premium episodes and the phrasal verbs course. They're super useful when you prepare for IELTS speaking. The links are in there.
Bye.
Bye.